Salam alaikum. Alaikum and salam. I am Tata Lucero, and today I'm going to be talking with you about the price ranges for getting initiated into Palo Mayombe, Santeria, and as well as the normal going rates for spell work, root work, and other things of the sort. There's a lot of people that come looking for services, and unfortunately a lot of you guys out there are running to the wrong people and getting involved with the wrong crowd. Now, the reason why I say this is there is a lot of scam artists out there, more than you're probably aware of. The problem is there's really no way to verify when you go to someone if they are a legitimate root worker, palero, santero, etc. Now, there are a few ways that I'm going to teach you that are very simple in identifying if someone's legitimate and looking at their credentials. Number one is going to be testimonies. There's a lot of people that can post who knows what all over the internet. They can post pictures of their altars and all this different stuff. But in all reality, it means nothing if they're not a true initiate of the religion, or at least have a reputable knowledge in what they claim that they are offering. The first way that you can tell if someone's legitimate is their testimonies. Check out their website, their YouTube channel, etc. See what other clients are saying about their services. Now, with that in mind, everybody has haters and, people that try to pull others down. But for the most part, the clients themselves are going to be the ones that you should more than likely be able to trust the most. Not in all cases, but most of the time. If a person has a lot of negative reviews, it would probably be wise to stay away from them. Number two, if they don't have any reviews at all, they don't have any credentials, and they're not very well known within the community, it would probably be a safe bet to say that they're not a legitimate spellcaster or root worker or, even an initiate of any of these traditions for that matter. Now, the second thing is if they cannot provide you a few simple questions, that I was taught to ask was, number two, I should say, excuse me, is who is your godparents? What manonzo are you a part of? Where is your house located? Different things like that. If they can't provide you with a answer to any of those questions, more than likely they're not legitimate. Now, some people like to be secretive, but like I always say, you don't have to put your business out there, but you should be willing to answer the basic questions to make your clients feel comfortable at the same time, because there is so much fraudulent activity that goes on in this community, and it's a damn shame. You would not believe the number of clients that I see on a regular basis that have been to numerous either spellcasters, ancestor workers, whatever you want to call them, that were not legitimate, and they took them for thousands of dollars and didn't give them a red cent in return. They got no results, number one, and number two, they left them hanging. They didn't give them anything. More than likely, when that's the case, that person is obviously either, number one, not an initiate, or two, just simply has no morals, and more than likely didn't even do the work for you. I always like to say results speak for itself. Now, the other thing you want to watch for is outlandish prices. Now, don't get me wrong. It is very important to understand as a client that you're going to get what you pay for, regardless. But there is an exception to that. If someone is charging you over $20,000, $10,000 for ceremonies and all these different things, that's absolutely ridiculous. Standard price range in Palo Mayombe to get scratched, which is the rayamiento ceremony, goes for about $3 to $4 grand on average. sometimes more, sometimes less, depending where you go. To become fully initiated within Palo Mayombe is going to run you between 6 to 10 grand, more than likely. Palo Mayombe is very expensive, but it shouldn't normally cost you more, in between 6 to 10 grand. I'd say even a max of 8,000. Any more than that, they're ripping you off. I've heard of people paying over $20,000, $30,000 to get initiated, and I'm like, man, I mean, you know, you would have came to our house, you'd have, for 6 to 7 grand, you would have been scratched, received your prendo or your nganga or condembo on top of it. So that's one way to tell when they charge an outlandish number. The reason they do that is so they can take your money and run. Number one, first and foremost. The same thing with Santeria and with Ocha. I mean, I've heard of people, you know, even looking to get the mano de Orula, or rumila, the hands of Orula, or hands of Ifa, for, they would charge them, I think it was something crazy, it was like $4,000 or $5,000, and I'm like, that's just not right. You know, you shouldn't be paying an outlandish fee, number one. What you can expect to pay, it depends what you're getting initiated into. Again, like I said with Palo in specific, the Palo Mayombe tradition is fairly expensive, but at the same time, you shouldn't be really breaking the bank on the whole situation. You know, like I said, if you're paying any more than 6 to 10 grand, you're getting ripped off. Usually not even 10 grand, depending what you get. I mean, if you're getting scratched, you're getting your prenda. I mean, if you're getting a lot all at once, be prepared to pay for it. But at the same time, I mean, I've heard of crazy stuff, like I said, people paying $20,000, $30,000. I mean, that's mad. I mean, that's just, it's insane. I mean, and I don't understand, you know, how people can charge such a ridiculous amount of money. Number three, what should you be paid for spell work in particular? Now, this is a hard one to answer. The reason why is everyone has their set prices. It's not for me to say, oh, this person charges too much or that person charges too little. It's really up to the root worker. So again, that gets back to, you know, the reviews and seeing if that person is legitimate. And also it's through experience. I mean, the truth be told, you're taking a gamble. I mean, you don't know these people. It's just like anyone you don't know that you're doing business with. You have to build some kind of level of trust. But getting back to what you should be paying. For let's touch on like hoodoo spells. I know a lot of hoodoo root workers in this community that you know, they charge between anywhere from, you know, $450 to the $500 range for a spell, which is the same as myself. I like to keep it there. Any more than that for hoodoo is extortion. They're charging you too much. For Palo Mayombe spells specifically, the starting price normally, depending what you get, is going to be between $500 to $600 easily. Now, with that being said, you don't want to, again, overpay for what you're getting. You want to pay for what you get, but you want to make sure you're getting what you paid for at the same time. So it's very important. And like I always say, results speak for themselves, you know. As for myself, I always say that a testimonial from a client that is satisfied and is absolutely thrilled with their service is worth more to me than over $1,000, $10,000, whatever you want to call it. It's worth more to me than money, because what it does is it builds my reputation, and it shows that I'm legitimate in what I do and that I can verify the services that I'm providing. You know, it also shows my passion for what I do for others, you know, and it's not about talking yourself up, but it's about being straightforward and letting people know the truth out there, because there's a lot of scam artists out there. There's a lot of people, in my opinion, with no soul that's running around extorting the hell out of people for ridiculous amounts of money. And there's going to be probably a lot of people that don't like me for making this video, because I'm telling the truth. And, you know, truth be told, I really don't care. You know, I'm good where I'm at. You know, I don't have to rip people off or, you know, charge an outrageous amount, you know, just to make a living. I'm set. I'm good where I'm at, you know, and that's what it comes down to, is build yourself reputably. don't do it on lies, don't do it on deceit. And that's just a message for any of you root workers out there, up and coming root workers, or, you know, spellcasters. Build your reputation in a way that you would want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? Treat your clients how you would want another root worker to treat you if you were the one getting work done. You wouldn't want them to take advantage of you for your most trying hour, okay? Again, getting back into price ranges and speaking for my specific prices. If you come to me and you want a Palo Mayombe spell, keep in mind, Palo Mayombe work, or the Insara as we call it, the root work itself, these spells are extremely powerful. They require a lot of offerings, sacrifices, and a lot of other things, because there's secrets of the tradition I can't put out there, but they take a lot of supplies, herbs. Some spells take 21 different herbs, 121 different herbs, okay? And I'm not going to get into all that because a lot of it's secrets of the tradition, and we can't give that out, you know, publicly to the non-initiated. But at the same time, you shouldn't be, with me, the starting price for any Palo work is going to be between $500 to $600 depending on your situation. So for, like, just as an example, my love domination spells, and, you know, I stand behind that work 100%, it's going to run you $650 easily. But you will get the results you're looking for, guaranteed. You know, that's another thing about the guarantee of results. Do I guarantee my spell work? Yes. The only time I don't is if a client doesn't follow my instructions. If you don't follow my instructions, you may or may not get the results you're looking for. But I have a lot of clients, and I'm going to be doing an up-and-coming podcast with a good friend and a good client of mine that I've done a lot of work for. And this gentleman had a very, very complicated case. I mean, you'll hear about it then, but this is something you're not going to want to miss. It's going to be a live broadcast, and it's going to be basically about what is the ideal client for us root workers, what do we look for, and what kind of clients. I mean, we appreciate our clients, but what are the type of people we're looking to work with, at least for myself. And this individual is a prime example. He followed every bit of instructions, and he had one of the most difficult situations. He had purchased a love domination spell, and there was a whole lot of other stuff that we'll get into over the broadcast. But he had one of the most difficult situations. And let me tell you this, even though his situation was the most difficult, he got some of the best results out of all of my clients. And do you know why that is? Because he followed my instructions to a T. He did not skip anything. He did not miss anything. What I told him to do, which is what Spirit told me to tell him, he did it, and he got the results, and the Spirit stood by him all the way. He was facing a lot of shit. And again, like I said, I'll get into that in another video. But I want you guys to understand, as clients, it's very important you follow your root worker's instructions. If you don't, you can, it's like going to the doctor. How can you expect to get results? Your doctor gives you medication, but you only take it 2 to 3 times a week when he said you need to take it once a day. Just as an example, how you're not going to get the results you're looking for, you know, and that is the important thing to remember for those of you that are seeking root work and things like that. So keep that in mind, guys, really keep that in mind. And I know this video was a little bit long, but I've been trying to shoot longer videos intermittently because you know, as I forget when it was, Santeria Lucera had said that I would have been on the channel. Look, I'm crazy busy. I'm overbooked like every day. I see more clients than I can keep track of. So I like to get as much information out there, you know, and squeeze as much into one video as possible. So yeah, with that being said, guys, again, you know, be careful with who you go to. Watch for scammers within the tradition. Make sure you can verify certain things. You know, and that's pretty much it, guys. You know, again, and with prices, like I said, my starting price, if you're interested in spell work, you're looking at $600. So, you know, when you contact me, keep that in mind. If you're looking for hoodoo work from me as well, which I also do hoodoo, you're looking at $450 to $500 starting price, depending on your situation and what you need done. Okay. One other thing I want to throw out to those of you that are looking for spell work specifically, one of my specialties is court case magic. And I know a lot of people won't touch court case spells simply because it's very risky. I mean, you know, it's playing with people's freedom, which is something I don't do. I don't play with people's freedom. I take it very seriously. But what I can guarantee you is this: My court case spells are guaranteed to work, because if they don't work, I will be happy to provide you a full refund, number one, at least for those. Because with that, I don't have to rely on you for anything. There's not really any instructions I need you to follow for court case magic at all. You know, maybe a simple offering or something of the sort. But it's different with love spells. It's a lot different. But getting back into the court case thing, if there are those of you out there that if you have any legal trouble, you've got a stubborn, you know, court case that you just can't get off your head, hit me up, email me at tatalucero9@gmail.com. Guaranteed. My court case spells are not cheap. They're $1,000 off the top. No more, no less. But I'm very confident in my court case work. So how I work with that is, because I know $1,000 is a lot to dish up. You pay me $600 up front. Pay me the other $400 when I win the case for you. Simple as that. But anyway, guys, this video's been kind of long here. I apologize for the noise and the kind of the shaky camera here. It's just been recording on my phone here lately. I need to get my camera and everything set up. I haven't had a lot of time. Like I said, I'm constantly busy. I'm constantly in front of my spirits doing a lot of work. So like I said, I try to squeeze as much into one video as possible because I didn't want to keep you guys waiting any longer. You know, Santeria Lucero told me you guys were very excited to meet me. So I hope you all are glad that I could get some videos out. I hope this video was informational to you and, you know, kind of will help you in the future to, you know, avoid being scammed by a lot of these fraudulent people out there. Again, if you need spell work done, the link is in the description box, and our email, you can reach myself or my partner at tatalucero9@gmail.com. Okay, so with that being said, guys, I hope again that this video cleared a lot of misinformation up for you. I hope you all are well and having a great blessed day or evening wherever you are from. And with that being said, Assalamu alaikum, malaikum and salam. Till next time.